Hi, this is Tiffin, and I am recording this Friday afternoon, September 22nd. Um, I'm in California, Pacific time, and tonight, a little before midnight, 11:50 p.m., the sun will enter Libra. And this is the part of our year that marks the fall equinox, this equal time of day and night. And it's a short period where the daylight hours and the nighttime hours are equal. And it signifies the beginning of fall here in the Northern Hemisphere, the beginning of spring in the Southern Hemisphere. I've been resisting this energy the last few days. I have felt a sadness and a melancholy of the end of summer. I love summer. I really love summer. And I have been noticing the softening of the light, the earlier sunsets, the chill in the air, even some leaves starting to turn. And I personally, have that sort of grasping feeling of like, no, I'm not ready for fall. I don't want it to be fall. And I know that's not um, not the only opinion. I have many friends who absolutely adore fall and have been eagerly anticipating this equinox energy. And I just bring that in because part of my resistance to letting go of summer and facing or accepting equinox has kept me from recording this chat about it for you for a while. Like if I don't do it, it won't happen, some kind of magical thinking. And I know that's not true. So let's talk about Libra energy for a bit because the sun is moving into Libra, whether I like it or not. I actually like Libra energy, but it's the seasonal shift that I struggle with. And I'm looking at how am I in relationship with that change. And Libra energy is all about being in relationship with our lives, with people in our lives, with ideas and concepts in our lives, with ourselves in our lives. How are we in relationship? And are those relationships in harmony? Are they in some kind of a balance? And the point of the sun entering Libra marks that even 50-50 balance of daylight and nighttime. Balance, though, I've been thinking about. Certainly in a physical sense, balance is not always 50-50, and it's not a static thing. It's a very dynamic thing of noticing where we're off balance or how we're a little bit out of balance and making slight changes to regain balance. So if you want to feel this for yourself, it's very simple. Stand on one foot for a while and notice how often you make a little micro adjustment in your posture, or you might feel a little wobble and then you might find yourself steady again. And that to me is a really helpful embodied experience of that dynamic nature of balance. In the zodiac, Libra is opposite to Aries, that polarity of Libra, which is about relationship, is about the other and the relationships between, and Aries, which is very much a self-oriented energy, that spark of instinct and I am energy. And within the polarity, we need to find a balance of including both our relationship to ourselves and that energy in us that declares I am, knows what we want, knows how we're asserting ourselves. What's my relationship to that energy in myself? And what's my energy around relationships and others? How much time or energy or attention do I spend anticipating what someone else or others want or need and meeting that, caring for that, attending to that energy? And how much do I put energy, attention, time into the relationship I have with myself and my own desires, my own agenda, my own ambition, even. So those are questions you can ask yourself. How much of my energy is invested in really what I want going forward and what I need? And how much is around what others in my life need or want from me, or in making sure that my relationships are well tended? And I think very important for this next solar month of the sun moving through Libra is feeling into what we really at our heart want and love, create. And I say that because the ruling planet of Libra is Venus. And Venus is still in the sign of Leo, where it's been for the last several months and will be until, oh gosh, I should have looked it up, but mid-October sometime. I'll try to put that in the next conversation or in the written part. But ruled by Venus in Leo, which is so much about that work we did around the Venus retrograde season of tapping into what's at our heart, our personal, true expression, that authentic self, that authentic heart's desire, Venus in Leo. What are the things that bring out that childlike joy and wonder in us? This Venus in Leo is the ruler or the influence of the sun moving through Libra. And Venus in Leo is in an interesting dynamic with support in that trine relationship from Leo over to Aries with Chiron, the wounded healer. So this Libra season can be very healing for the Aries energy in us. Chiron has been in Aries for the last couple of years. And it has been a time for healing our relationship with ourselves, and with that inner feeling energy, that inner Mars drive, ambition, motivation. What is it that is truly ours to want in our lives? What is it that is truly authentic in our going for it energy? So Venus trying to Chiron is a healing of the Venus and the Aries energy, the Venus and the Mars together. Planet Mars is currently in the sign of Libra, directly across from that Chiron. So there's a real theme of healing the masculine and feminine within us and finding the balance of our masculine and feminine energies, not our male, female, not gender, but the masculine and feminine energies that are active and going outward, masculine, and receptive and inward, the Venus or the feminine energies. So the flow of inward and outward, the yin and the yang, in balance in us. And what's your natural balance of that? It's going to be different for every person. But what is your natural balance of energies across the board? I know, not just masculine, feminine, but is the natural balance within you? As the sun moves through Libra, it's like shining the spotlight on these themes of balance and relationship and harmony. And how can we notice when we're out of balance or out of harmony? Like I did this morning, I felt very out of sorts about this change, like grumpy, melancholic, just kind of a dread feeling of, no, I'm not ready for this change. And that feels out of balance to me, because generally my balance is a little more towards an acceptance or an optimistic perspective on things, especially around the astrology. Like I always try to find, like, what's the energy in it for me? How can I work with this energy? What's the gift in it? And you've probably picked that up if you've been following for a while. I do believe that each one of the energies, even the difficult aspects, the difficult relationships between the planets that can be more challenging, always have gifts in them, always have opportunities. And we can, feel maybe the surprise of it or the challenge of that energy, and then find the gift in it. So for example, planet Venus ruling the sign of Libra is also in the square, the 90-degree relationship to both Uranus and Jupiter in the sign of Taurus. And that 90-degree energy is challenging and confronting in a way, but it's also strengthening. And so there can be an energy of Uranus square Venus and Jupiter square Venus of awakening us to more of what we value, more of what we love and appreciate, of expanding our growth and opportunities for love, for attracting what we enjoy in life, for really just that Venus feeling of loving and appreciating our lives. And in the sign of Leo, being who we really are at our hearts. And so I invite you to kind of question those things for yourself. Where are you feeling in a really harmonious, good relationship with yourself? Or what are you noticing is out of balance in your relationship to yourself? Maybe you've been in a really demanding period in your work life, and you've, just been meeting deadlines or meeting the demands of your work, and you feel maybe a little out of touch with your relationship with yourself. Maybe someone close to you is going through a challenging time or a big energy time, and you've been showing up more for your partner or your child or your parent or a good friend. And you recognize that, oh, I haven't checked in with me in a while. So it's time to tend to the relationship with yourself as well as the important relationships in your life. And even, this is a little more theoretical, but what is your relationship to relationships? Like, what's my relationship to the idea of relationship? I notice that I have been asking myself that a lot in my life, and noticing the assumptions I have around that, or the rules around reciprocity, mutuality, fairness. Oh, these are all Libra words. And I notice from my perspective, I have values in relationship around those Libra ideals of balance and reciprocity, mutuality. It doesn't have to be exactly 50-50 give and take. But over time and on balance, it has to feel fair, and that there is a give and a take, or a flow and a balance. And so you might kind of examine that for yourself. How are you with your friendships and what you expect of them, both individually and sort of as a group? How what's my relationship to the idea of friendship at this point in my life? How much energy do I have for it? How much energy do I feel like I get from the friendships that I have in my life? Things like that. This can be a really healing month with this Venus in relationship to Chiron, with the growth and the awakening energy of Venus's relationship with Jupiter and with Uranus, awakening that opportunity, awakening our embodied experience of the goodness of relationship, of being more aware of what our relationships, interactions with life and various parts of our life are, how that's bringing our awareness. So as the solar season, the sun season through Libra is beginning, we're only at the first quarter moon from the new moon that began in Virgo. So we have kind of an overlap of Virgo energy and Libra energy for the next 3 weeks. And that's, I think, a really beautiful way of transitioning. So the Virgo energy brings us more aware of how things are working efficiently, how things can be better, how things can be made to be more whole or more in integrity. And Virgo is about the small adjustments, the refining, the fine-tuning of things. And I love that energy with the concept of balance, because I think restoring things to balance is usually just a small adjustment. just bringing awareness and maybe doing something a little bit differently or a little more intentionally, or fine-tuning schedules so that there's time for important relationships in our lives, things like that. So the universe is inviting us to examine these things and to take the actions through the Virgo energy that will be lingering for the next 3 weeks to combine that. How can we improve upon, fine-tune, and make more efficient and more graceful and in a better harmonious operation our relationship with ourselves, with the people in our lives, with life itself? That's what I want to say about the equinox. And I also am curious how you are experiencing the change of season. What's your relationship to the change of seasons? Are you someone who anticipates and looks forward to and loves the change and is ready to move forward and jump into the next? Are you someone who savors and lets go very slowly of the one that's leaving us? I'm sure there are other ways as well. I will find the beauty in fall and enjoy the longer dark nights as we move through fall and towards solstice, and we'll have other things to celebrate. But for now, I wish you balance and harmony within yourself, within your life, and happy equinox. Take care, friends.